Hi, my name is Alyssa Wong, and this is the draft video for my outreach project, the Physiology of Caffeine Intake. Caffeine, friend or foe? What is caffeine? Caffeine can come in many forms, and the most common form we see is in coffee. If you're not a coffee drinker, you'll find it in tea, energy drinks, chocolate, gum, medications, and more. In the United States, approximately 76 milligrams of caffeine is consumed through various ways in a single day. Humans are the only consumers of caffeine. The coffee berry borer is an insect that likes to munch on coffee berries. Since caffeine can be synthesized by plants, insects often find themselves with a kick of energy from this naturally derived stimulant. Before a workout, most consumers like to take a shot of pre-workout or maybe a cup of coffee before a run or bike ride. How does our body respond to the caffeine once consumed? In a study conducted in 1998, researchers found that people that consumed caffeine before working out had an increase in some metabolic levels and a decrease in insulin concentrations. At the end of the trial, they found that the control group that consumed caffeine prior to exercise had higher levels of epinephrine and their workouts lasted longer. How do our muscles respond to caffeine intake? From the last slide, we learned that caffeine intake before exercise can actually help us increase our workouts. But what does the stimulant do for our muscles? When we're doing a workout, we're not only working on our muscles, but cellularly, we're fluctuating as well. In a study on muscle makeup and caffeine, researchers found that there was decreased muscle glycogenolysis, which is the breakdown of glycogen in the muscles, and an increase in intramuscular triglycerol and extramuscular free fatty acids. As you can see by the chart that's provided, which is from the research, they found that in bike performance times, the subjects that were given caffeine had a longer exhaustion time than they did in placebos. The science behind the how. So how does caffeine sneak its way into our system and affect our bodies? After consumption, it takes about 45 minutes to be absorbed in the small intestine. From there, it looks for adenosine receptors to antagonize them, even in their lowest form of concentration. Because caffeine is so close to the structure of adenosine, it can bind to their receptors. Adenosine has many functions, and with the disruption of caffeine taking over, it has diverse effects than what is followed from the original adenosine that would bound to the receptor. Besides adenosine receptors, they are also an agonist for iodine receptors, and these stimulate the increased release of calcium from the endoplasmic reticulum. Here is the second figure from Caffeine as Factors Influencing the Functioning of Human Body, Friend or Foe, which is one of the references provided. This shows the main pathways of caffeine metabolism in the liver. Do you drink coffee at night? Most of the times, caffeine is consumed in the morning. I know for me, as a college student, coffee is consumed at any time of the day for me, but is it good to drink coffee in the afternoon or evening? Our body runs on a circadian rhythm, which allows our body to release melatonin later in the evening to initiate sleep. If we drink a stimulant prior to the release of melatonin, these two counteract each other. Melatonin is a hormone released by the pineal gland, which is the primary signal to the body as an internal biological night. As you can see on the slide, melatonin has lots of health benefits, but when we consume caffeine past a certain time, or there's still caffeine in our system, it acts as a disruptor for the melatonin. Based on nutrascience, here are some of the health benefits of melatonin. It improves our sleep efficiency and sleep-wake cycle. It's shown to help maintain eye health. It may help with seasonal affective depression. It's shown to support a healthy immune system, and it helps protect the mitochondria in cells. First, let's get a background on what circadian rhythm is and what it does for our body. It is the body's natural clock that regulates our sleep-to-wake cycle. Just like a clock, it goes for about 24 hours. It has a similar effect as an alarm clock. Some people naturally wake up around the same time or use sunlight to awaken their bodies, and nighttime triggers sleepiness. So how does caffeine disturb our circadian rhythm? We now know that caffeine is used as a stimulant, and most people drink it in the morning for wakefulness. Inside the body, caffeine binds to the neuronal adenosine receptor. This causes the release of excitatory neurotransmitters and alters intracellular cyclic adenosine monophosphate, or CAMP. This sounds like a lot of mumble jumble, but this basically just means that caffeine excites the body and gets it moving. With this knowledge, it's easy to assume that caffeine in the afternoon or evening probably isn't the best idea. Based on a 2015 research article, research tested the circadian rhythm and the effect caffeine has on it. Their findings showed that caffeine influences human circadian physiology and may have implications for the pathophysiology and treatment of some circadian sleep-wake disorders. In addition to increasing daytime exposure to sunlight and reducing evening exposure to electrical light, avoiding evening caffeine may help to treat problematic delayed sleep timing through circadian as well as establish wakefulness sleep mechanisms based on their article. So just to summarize everything that we went over, caffeine is a stimulant that likes to disguise itself as adenosine and use its receptors. About 76 milligrams of caffeine is consumed in a day by various ways. If you consume caffeine prior to a workout, you'll reach your exhaustion point later than if you were not to consume caffeine at all. Caffeine consumed in the evening can hinder the production of melatonin in the system by about 40 minutes, and this will throw off our circadian rhythm. And here are the references provided. Thank you.